Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates. After the recent DLC and Season Pass announcements, I think we've all started to speculate about what might come in the respective DLCs, and today I wanted to talk about 5 different things that I'm really hoping will be added to the game based on the different themes we've been presented with. So let's get straight into it. The Rancor. We know that 1 or 2 maps in the first DLC coming in March will be based around Jabba's palace. And no map based in Jabba's palace would be complete without the Rancor. The Rancor is present in the movies and it's present in the old games, and I think adding a little bit of native and neutral obstacles on the maps would be a fun addition and not just keep everything either Empire or Rebels. I'm not sure what the best way to actually implement the Rancor would be, because in the movies and the old games it was located just below Jabba's hidden hatch, and since only bots would be stupid enough to fall through that hatch, it would feel like a waste if no one actually got to interact with or die from the Rancor. At the start some people might fall through, but I don't think it's gonna become a common thing, at which point developing a Rancor just for that would feel a little bit like wasted development time. But I think that doing something like having this small door into the Rancor pit open at all times could make for some interesting opportunities. You could for instance have one objective point or powerful power up in there, which would motivate people to get in there, and they would really have to take a risk by doing so. Chewbacca. Who doesn't want his furry warrior added in Star Wars Battlefront? I feel like he is the biggest candidate for the new heroes by far, and I'm almost willing to bet that he will be added to the game in one of the DLCs. I think DICE could implement him in a lot of cool ways. His main weapon would of course be the bowcaster, and I think that after The Force Awakens we all got to see how damn powerful it was. I'd love to have it like a really slow shooting but on the other hand one-shotting weapon. I'm thinking it would be identical to Han Solo's Lucky Shot but without lock-on. That would make it a fair main weapon, especially if it has a fairly slow fire rate. For abilities I'm thinking something explosive, maybe remote control bombs, which is something that isn't currently in the game, and something like a rage ability would definitely be cool as well. Imagine seeing a charging Chewbacca coming towards you and just knocking you down or possibly ripping your arms off if you're unlucky. A Rebel ground vehicle. This is severely lacking in the current game, as it's always so frustrating to face off against the AT-STs as the Rebels with nothing equal to counter them with. Don't get me wrong though, I really like the fact that DICE went for asymmetrical gameplay, and I don't want a Rebel vehicle added to the current maps, but it would be fun if the new maps and game modes were a little bit different, where the Rebels actually had some vehicles to fight back with. In Battlefront 2 the Rebels had the AAC-1, and this is the vehicle that I can think of that could be implemented for the Rebels. The problem is that the AAC-1 isn't canon, and I don't think any Rebel ground vehicle from the Galactic Civil War actually is, which could be a problem. They have however created some new things for Battlefront, such as power-ups like the thermal imploder, so hopefully they can take that one step further and actually add a new vehicle that isn't canon previously. That would definitely make me very happy. Space battles on the Death Star. We know that one of the DLCs are going to be based around the Death Star, and it just feels wrong if they don't implement space battles. I mean, it doesn't even have to be something new. As I've said all the time, space battles is basically fighter squadron in space, and that's all they have to do. Put some fighter squadron on the surface of the Death Star and we're good to go. And if they want to take it one step further, they could add in a bunch of frigates or star destroyers to fight around as well, which would be fantastic, and possibly some new, more objective based game modes that feature starfighters, as fighter squadron is very simplistic. It does get the job done for some proper starfighting experience, but it lacks tactical play completely, and that is something that a new game mode based around the Death Star space could definitely fix. Bespin platforms. We know that one of the DLCs will be based completely around Bespin, and for them to not add Bespin platforms would be a huge mistake. This map was greatly popular in the old games, and it would be so cool to see it return. I had to admit though, that map layout would not work for a modern shooter like Battlefront. It would be a complete clusterfuck and would be very imbalanced. But I would be fine with that. If there is one map I want them to remake completely and just ignore if it's imbalanced or not, it is Bespin platforms. On the other hand, I think that it's a bigger chance that we'll get a new, more balanced and modern design of Bespin platforms, which is completely fine by me. I'm just hoping that they will incorporate the whole open platform part where you can fall off and die, and not just keep it to indoors maps, as that would be very disappointing. Well, that brings this list to an end. There are of course plenty of more things I want in the DLC, but these are some of the biggest things that I really hope to see. Please let me know in the comments below what you want to see in the upcoming DLCs. Don't forget to subscribe for more Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars gaming content, and I will see you all soon again, and as always, may the Force be with you.